thanks to the support as a channel member, Leslie Jacobs. That result against Liverpool in the last episode aside, things have actually been going quite well at the start of my career at Arsenal, and today we get a rare opportunity at a quite quick do-over because we face Liverpool again, this time in the Champions League. If we beat them, the entire season is back on track. If we get thumped again, I might have to rethink this beautiful tactic that I've created. Firstly, could we all just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful it is at the backdrop of the portal changes before a Champions League game to make it look Champions League-y. This is the first time I've noticed it, and I think it looks great. Notice it later in the episode when we're not just before a Champions League game. It will change back again, I think. I could just be making this up, but to me, I've opened the game up this morning and it looks Champions League-y. Since you were last with me, obviously we lost to Liverpool, not ideal. Losing against Forest was even less ideal. But then we are slowly turning things back around again. We had a draw in the Champions League against, that's Napoli, isn't it? Parthenope. And then that game against Leyton Orient came at exactly the right times. We rattled goals past them and then went away to Newcastle and beat them. Newcastle, by the way, really struggling. If you think we've had a bad start being down in 9th, albeit with a game in hand, Newcastle down in 19th with only 2 points on the board. They are not having a nice game at all. I also don't know how we've managed to get to the position where we've got a game in hand. Our game against Manchester City didn't take place. Even though every other match that match week did. So I don't have any explanation for it, but it does mean both us and Manchester City are artificially a little bit lower than we would be, because obviously if we beat City, we'd be up. If either of us won, we'd be up on 12 points in third place. So it's an odd one. The other thing I've done since the last episode is set up my bookmarks. So I know there's been a lot of people not very happy with the new UI of the game. I would certainly recommend you get your bookmarks set up. If you're on a big 4K monitor like I am, you can have up to 12 on here. But as you can see, once you've got the bookmarks on, and once you get used to what they actually do, and I'm going to have to learn the icons a little bit, but that is going to make navigating through the stuff I do a lot, like the squad screen, like tactics, like fixtures, we're going to be able to move through that stuff so much easier with that there. So I think you've got to utilise your bookmarks, boys and girls. But what we also have to do is beat Liverpool. We lost 5-2 away the last time we played them. We're playing them away again. We've not had a great start to the Champions League with that home draw. We need a win, and we're not going to change the tactic to try and get the win because we've got some personnel back that we didn't have the last time we played them. Raya is back in goal, so I'm hoping that will lead us to conceding maybe fewer than 5 goals this time. We've also got Odegaard back, so he's going to come in behind Gyökeres. It is a little bit harsh on Eze, who has started really well, but then did pick up a knock just as Odegaard came back again. Although looking at him, he looks completely fully fit today and probably should be on the bench. So let's get him up onto the bench. He's the only one who, yeah, all the other injured players are still injured. So fingers crossed we can get one of Havertz or Jesus back soon. So I think we do need another option up front. Although to be fair, Gyökeres, 6 goals from 6 starts. He's had a lovely start to his career at Arsenal. But this is what we're going with. It's Raya in goal, a back four of Lewis Skelly, Gabriel Saliba and Timber. Tchouaméni, who was a nightmare against Liverpool last time out. I did genuinely consider bringing Zubimendi in for this game, but we're going to give Tchouaméni another go. Tchouaméni and Rice in midfield, and then Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, Odegaard in behind, Gyökeres up front. This is what we do in possession. That's what it's going to be out of possession. And like I say, it didn't really work last time. Let's see if it works this time, eh? Let's get into our match. We've only got 11 substitutes from possible 12. It does do this a little bit. Yeah, it's missed out substitute number 10 for some reason. Which I guess will be Setford. We'll just put another goalkeeper on because that's all we've got. Everyone else is injured. So submit, get into the match. Martinelli's not fully fit. He'll be fine. I like the pace that we get out of Martinelli in this system. I think with him being basically the only width on that left-hand side, because he has either Lewis Skelly or Calafiori behind him, I think we need that pace that you don't get with Trossard or Eze out there. Is it snowing? Feels like it's a little bit early in the season for snow, but that definitely looks like snow. Look at that position Lewis Skelly takes up. I do like it. When we've got the ball, it works really well. The problem is Liverpool are incredibly overpowered in FM26, it seems. As you saw in the little pre-match blurb, they've won 8 from 8 in all competitions this season. They are basically unbeatable, and we're playing them away from home for the second time in 7 matches to start my Arsenal career, which is also a long way from ideal. But yeah, as much as I like Lewis Skelly taking up those positions in possession and adding that extra body into midfield, maybe dancing around the pitch when Mo Salah is the opposition winger on that side isn't the best plan we've ever had. And just like he did when we played them in the league, Wirtz scores against us. He is proving to be quite problematic. Right, let's just pause there because I want to check the... I mean, if it had have made it all the way across to Salah, is that Lewis Skelly or is that him back here? Unfortunately, it looks like you can't click on players the way you used to be able to. I think, so that's Timber, that's Tchouaméni, so that's Saliba, Gabriel, so that's Lewis Skelly. So he's not dancing around out here, but he's also very narrow and leaving Salah in a lot of space. So if that cross had come all the way across, by the way, we paused and it's still snowing. It's fine. We've only paused the football. We didn't pause the snow or the crowd. It's fine. Yeah. Instead, he cuts it back to Wirtz, and that's frustrating. And we're 1-0 down. I love the fact that we can pause certain elements of the scene, but not other elements. That's spectacular. Right, see, that's good work from Rice winning the ball back in midfield. Rice has got a mohawk. The hairstyle of FM26, Declan Rice has got involved. Right, Saka on the right hand side, lovely ball into Odegaard. This is our first proper chance of getting to see him in a video after he started the season injured, and unfortunately he's not able to either score a goal or create a chance for Gyökeres, who was lurking in the middle, ready to continue his goal-a-game start to his Arsenal career. Looking at the match stats, I mean, it's not been disastrous. We have had slightly more of the ball. What we're not doing is creating chances, which is, again, a long way from ideal. But you know what? After they rattled all those goals past us the last time we played them, if we can just lose 1-0 this time, I'm not going to be super duper upset about it because we were so monumentally outclassed when we played them before, and they are very, very good. I don't think we're ready to come and beat them just yet. We're still learning our way. I'm sure there's going to be tweaks to this tactic as time goes on, as I see more and more of it in the match engine. I'm happy with how it looks most of the time against most oppositions. The Forest game that we lost, I'm just going to put that down to Morale Manager 2026. Some things change, some things will forever remain the same. We got battered by Liverpool, so then we came off the back of it and lost against Forest. We then battered Leyton Orient, so came off the back of it and beat Newcastle. It's the way of the world, but we are coming into this in relatively good form, spirits quite high, and because of that, we're being a lot more competitive than we were last time. What we'd like is a set-piece goal. It's the missing piece of the puzzle at the moment, and so far I haven't been able to get set pieces working the way we had them working in FM24. And I, for one, am furious about it because I loved an overpowered centre back scoring loads of goals from set pieces. Florian Wirtz looks like £100 million plus player in FM26, and I am not comfortable with it. It might be how he ends up once he's properly settled into Liverpool in real life. But I don't approve. I mean, we're benefiting from the same thing because Gyökeres has settled straight in and he's scoring loads of goals for me. So I'm having the same no taking time to settle in thing. I've got the same thing going on. But he's looking like the best player in the Premier League. Certainly in the 2 times we've played against Liverpool, he has been hugely problematic. Right, Timber into Saka. This is more like it. Timber again. Can we find the cross? He gives it to Saka. Plays it across. It was Martinelli who was there and forces it. So that's the best chance we've had in the game so far. We are going to take off Martinelli, who is the one who was on the receiving end of the chance, because he is tiring. I'm actually going to bring on Eze rather than Trossard because I think he is a better player. And I mean, we might actually bring Trossard on as well because Odegaard, who is just coming back from injury, is tiring. And then we'll actually swap those two round. And we're also going to take off Timber, who also looks like he's tiring. So Ben White can come on for Timber. Easy peasy. We are going to have to go more attacking, aren't we? With 20 minutes to go. We've got to try and do something. We've got the opportunity to grab a draw in this game. So let's try and grab a draw. There is Eza. And he just ran into the opposition player. Neither of our attacking midfielders look like they're doing what Wirtz has done for Liverpool. I tell you what, though, Trossard. I think I'm being unfair to Leandro Trossard in these videos because every time we see him, he looks really good. Maybe I need to give Trossard a bit more game time. Right, Lewis Skelly is tiring as well, so Hincapié can come on for him. And Gyökeres, who's played pretty much every minute of pretty much every game. See, I don't really want to bring Marino on in these circumstances when we're chasing an equaliser. But at the same time, I guess we could put Trossard up front and bring on Madueke or Ranieri. Taking off Gyökeres seems bonkers, though. But he is tiring and we don't want to break him. But we also need a goal. We've already changed 2 of the 4 attackers. We're not going to take off Saka. We're taking off Gyökeres. We're going to put Trossard up front. And we're going to bring on Madueke to play on that side. And we are going to go very attacking. And we are going to hope that we can grab ourselves an equaliser. We've been much better against Liverpool this time. Progress is being made. I'm already planning my post-match press conference that I won't even turn up for. I'm briefing my assistant manager what he needs to say. We've obviously made progress since the last time we played Liverpool, but we are supposed to be title challengers and we have lost to them twice at their place. So it's progress, but it's slow progress. Florian Wirtz, the difference between the 2 teams. Very frustrating, but I don't think it means we need a huge tactical rebuild. We are now in need of winning our next Champions League game. There you go. The background's gone back to Football Manager colours now. Right, fixture list is up here. What game am I going to show you next? We've just had Liverpool. Who are Bergamo? I don't know who Bergamo are. I mean, I guess we could find out by looking at who plays for them. That's Inter, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess we'll do 2 Champions League games. We'll be back for Inter away because we need to sort ourselves out in the Champions League. I'll meet you there. Well, we had some good news, bad news. Good news, I got corners working. Or at least we scored 2 in a 5-0 win over West Ham. That was jolly nice. But then we drew away against Fulham with me trying to rotate the team a little bit in preparation for this game against Inter. So that wasn't ideal. I've also noticed we've got back-to-back home games against Crystal Palace. One in the Premier League, one in the Carabao Cup. How very exciting. But having rotated against Fulham and it not really working, the Premier League start to the season is still looking a little bit iffy. We're down in 8th place after 7 games, 13 points on the board. Although, as mentioned, it's both us and Man City. We're playing each other. We've both got that game in hand. Whichever one of us wins that match basically goes up to 2nd place. So it's not quite as bad as it looks on first inspection, especially because we're at home in that match. So fingers crossed we'll propel ourselves up to 2nd place when we eventually do play against Manchester City, which might even be the next episode. When do we play them? Do we ever play them? Is the game just permanently cancelled? Oh, we don't play them until like Christmas. I'm pretty sure we'll be back. I mean, we've got a North London derby. We're probably going to have to be back for that before we play Manchester City. So we're going to be stuck down the wrong end of the table for a little bit longer. Where does managerial support live on this version of the game? I know it'll be around here somewhere. Does anybody know? See, the stuff I use regularly, I can find quite consistently now. But stuff like this that you check on once in a blue moon, it's not going to be in recruitment or match day, is it? Board. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So at the moment, there you go. Performance feedback. They're satisfied. So they're not that bothered at the moment. Yes, the game against Forest wasn't ideal, but fingers crossed we can make up for it by beating Inter here. And this is the team. Should be familiar to you by now. It's basically our first 11. It's Raya in goal, a back four of Lewis Skelly, Gabriel Saliba and Timber, Chouameni and Rice in midfield, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka behind Gyökeres. Let's get this team submitted and hopefully pick up a win in the Champions League for the first time this season. It's just identified as well the problem we've got with Victor Gyökeres. It's one of the reasons why we tried to rotate the team a little bit against Fulham. You'll notice that we got the equaliser with a 93rd minute Gyökeres goal because we had to throw him into the mix. But with us not having another fit striker, Havertz, Jesus and Martinelli have all been injured at various points. Obviously, Martinelli is back now, but Havertz and Jesus both still injured. It means Gyökeres has basically played every game and is starting to feel it a little bit. He's scoring a lot of goals, but he is an injury risk now, and that's not ideal because we still don't have anybody to bring in for him. And it's big game after big game. We can't drop points in the Premier League because we're already not doing great in the Premier League. We haven't won yet in the Champions League. And this man does that kind of thing. So we need him. We need another one. Is there another Victor Gyökeres out there so we can rotate them? Because he is a machine. This is wonderful. Look at that for a goal. It's perfectly placed and it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We'll have the full-time whistle. Now, we saw in the last episode that a 1-0, going 1-0 up away from home against tough opposition early on doesn't necessarily end well. That's Liverpool went on and scored 5 goals against us when we went 1-0 up after a couple of minutes against them. So I would quite like to just shut this game down. And that's one thing we don't have in our locker at the moment. We don't have any kind of plan B tactic. I am working on getting this one working, and certainly against weaker opposition, we blow them away. We saw in the game against West Ham, we will blow teams away with this system when we're the better team and when we're in control. What we don't have is a system for these big, tough away games, and that's where we are suffering at the moment. So I think I am starting to come around to the idea, as much as I hate it and have always been resistant to it on previous versions of FM, early impressions of FM26 might have to have multiple formations on the go, including something a little bit more conservative for tough away games. I'm going to hold off on doing it as long as possible, but if we keep losing them, then we might just have to admit defeat and have a park the bus system for when we are away against Liverpool or City or Barcelona or whoever it might be. Inter Milan, who, I mean, we might be proving that it's not needed in this game. I don't know how well Inter have started the season, but obviously they're coming into this off the back of being Champions League finalists the year before. So they're not awful. Martinelli, good work from Martinelli. Some of the dribbling, by the way, is like nothing we've ever seen in Football Manager before. The match engine stuff, I'm glossing over a little bit because I'm focusing on the story, but some of the play we see it's so good. It is such a huge upgrade, some of this match engine stuff. And that is a lovely goal from Bukayo Saka, 2-0. And again, it's not the kind of goal you see in FM24. The way he sold the little feint there, and it's a good goal. And it's a good animation. And I don't know which I'm most excited about, but we're 2-0 up away from home against good opposition. Maybe it's not that we need a plan B. Maybe we just need a tactic for Liverpool away, who, as we can see from the Premier League table, they're already miles clear. Liverpool are just a super team. Because obviously in the world of Football Manager, they've won the Premier League quite easily and then gone out and spent a gazillion pounds and signed. They've taken the comfortable Premier League champions from last season, added the best striker in the Premier League from last season, spent another £500 million on top of that, broke the transfer record twice. Of course, Liverpool are going to be dominant in Football Manager, even if they're not yet in real life. And I guess we're just going to be playing catch up against Liverpool, but I am conscious of the fact that this is a beta save that I want to have wrapped up before Non-League to Legend starts on the 4th of November, 4 p.m, launch day of the full game. So we've only got just over a week. I mean, we're going to get through 2 seasons tops, 2 seasons if we hurry. So are we going to be able to deliver any silverware to Arsenal inside 2 seasons? I mean, there's pressure on Arteta in real life to do exactly that. But he's not facing this version of Liverpool like I am. Get your excuses in early. This Liverpool team are good. But we're also quite good, as we're showing here, against Inter. Timber plays it back to Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni's been much better today, by the way. He's starting to settle in to life in an Arsenal shirt. And that's a lovely ball through to Martinelli. Was that Lewis Skelly played that? That was beautiful. I'm not sure if it was Lewis Skelly or Rice. Whoever played that ball through to Martinelli, though, beautiful stuff. And now Tchouaméni to Odegaard. I mean, the idea was right. It's just a little bit too heavy for a tiring Gyökeres to chase. And in fact, we're probably going to take Gyökeres off shortly and give him a much needed rest. He's done his job today. He's been the best player on the pitch rating wise. He's scored once. He might be about to score again. He is due a rest. Lewis Skelly, again, getting into those fantastic positions from left back. I love an inverting wing back. And of course, he's a playmaking wing back, which is one of the new roles in FM26. And he does it beautifully. Right. I am going to put Martinelli up front. And then we are going to bring Trossard on the left. He is moving up my pecking order. We're also going to take off Saka and bring on Madueke. And we're going to take off Declan Rice and bring on Zubimendi. And just try and freshen up in... Hello, what's happened there? We're just going to try and freshen up in areas where we've got key players who we don't want to break. I mean, Rice, Saka, Gyökeres, arguably the three most important players in this squad. We're 2-0 up. Let's rest them, especially because they're both tiring. Right. We've now got a bunch more tired legs. Odegaard still recovering from injury, so Eza can come on for him. That's an easy one. And then both Lewis Skelly and Timber are tiring. Calafiori is just coming back from injury. White played the full 90 against Fulham, so Calafiori can come on to play left back. I would love to get real life version of Calafiori firing for Football Manager version of Arsenal. I don't think he's quite as good as he is in real life, though, in game. I think in game, Lewis Skelly is comfortably the better of the two left backs that we've got here. Timber doing great work as a man who is tired. Look at him charging forward. Lovely work from Timber, forces the corner, and I would very much like to score from it to show you that corners are now working. Cross comes in. It was aimed at the two big centre-backs, but they're not able to make proper contact on it. As you see, we went for the far post on that one, and now we're going to try a long throw again, and they still don't work, but it's back with Trossard on this right-hand side. Lovely work from Trossard, and there is Eza, who's got himself another goal. He is a bit hard done by, I think, to not be in the team. It's a nice problem to have. Football cliches. Obviously, Odegaard has come back, been very good, and has forced him out of the team. But, I mean, he's got the flexibility to play anywhere across that three. I think we probably need to use him a little bit more. I need to get better at rotation. I think rotation is definitely something I need to learn during this beta. It's something I've never been very good at in Football Manager. With this Arsenal squad, you've got to rotate, otherwise you're not going to keep them happy because there's so much strength in depth. We can't just do a settled 11 and only change it up when players are injured. But that was a fantastic result against a very good Inter side. I just want to look at the table. Where are they? Bergamo, isn't it, we're looking for? Okay, they've not started great. But still, I'll take it. That's a good result. And I think the plan from here, we've got to show you the North London derby tomorrow, haven't we? Thank you for the ongoing support on this series, by the way. Please make sure you keep the likes coming in. If we can keep rolling at 5,000 likes an episode, it just keeps the series alive in everybody's mind. And obviously there's some other bits and bobs coming out on the channel around it as well. So make sure you check all of that out. If you are new, subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss out and all that kind of thing. Do the thumbs up and thank you for watching.